So I had an interesting dream just now. In the dream, I was in a house and I knew that I had just recorded a song and I wanted to feature some artists on it. So I know I had invited a few people over that I knew to basically listen to the song and see if they wanted to audition for me uh, for to be featured on that song. And so I just had like a few friends over there, and I noticed right away that they weren't really like they seemed to be focused on that at first, and then they weren't really focused on it. They just began to get distracted and started socializing and talking amongst each other. And I noticed like a microphone cord had got ripped apart, and another friend that I had over there was trying to fix it for me. And then people were like starting to drink and order food, and um, before I knew it, more people started filling up, and they were bringing their friends and people that had nothing to do with making music. And before I knew it again, there was all kinds of people there, and it was getting crowded in the area that we were in, which I'm guessing was like the living room. And then I started noticing that people were hanging outside in the front patio area, out back of the house, in the garage, in the kitchen, in the basement, and just started getting out of control. It was just too many people. And so I'm trying to figure out like who is actually here to audition for the song. And I'm still trying to be nice and cordial, but I could tell it's starting to get out of control. And so then I start walking around and I'm trying to interview people, like get their name and find out what type of talent they have. Like, are they songwriters? Are they singers? Are they keyboardists? Do they um, play any instruments? Things like that. And I was just realizing, like, out of like each group of people, there would probably maybe be one or not any of them that have anything to do with music. So it just started to turn into like a gathering of just all of these people. And I was going around, I was barely finding anybody that actually did music. So when I did find someone that could sing or whatever, I would ask them to let me hear something. And um, so I knew that there was some talent there, but it was very, very like hard to find because it was just so many people that weren't there for the right reason. And then it just started getting out of control to where I had to retreat from like the downstairs area and I went upstairs. And then when I went upstairs, I noticed there were people, upstairs in the hallways, on the staircase, um, in and out of the rooms upstairs. And I remember I was there with like, um, there was a couple of people there that was for me, and even one of the the ladies that was there, because I had a few guys that were there that were on my side that were probably there before all these people came over. And then I'm thinking in my head like, this was a bad idea to invite these people into my house, into my personal space, to what I thought was just going to be like a quiet evening with a few musicians so we can just listen to the song and share some thoughts. It just turned into a full blown out uncontrollable party, and I definitely did not want a party there at my in my personal space. And so I think one of the ladies that was there with me, she was like, I don't want to say it was like my wife or my girlfriend, but it seemed like somebody who was close to me. Because I'm single in real life and I don't date or have a girlfriend. Like I'm really practicing purity and trying to live holy and righteous. And so I just try to focus on God 24/7 period and work and school. But so this dream was kind of like opposite of anything that's going on in my life right now because I don't even care to even think about music. But I was thinking in a dream like I need to just have this audition at the studio and excuse me and schedule people to come to the studio to audition. And I was thinking like, the few people that I did invite, they seemed like they were interested and they wanted to be involved with creating the song. And I felt like even some of them brought some people to accompany them, and it was those people that started inviting people and are putting the word out and turned it into like a party or something. And I've been involved in making music for a long time, so this really isn't that far fetched. It actually does happen a lot when you do have like a studio session and you do invite a few artists over. Um, usually though, usually with like the respectable artists, they will ask you if it's okay for them to bring somebody because sometimes they're not mobile at the time or they don't have any transportation, and so they will say that they need a ride. But I've even had people lie and say they a had to catch a ride with a friend, and then when they arrive they're the ones driving, and then they got their friends in the car, and their friends brought all the party favors, the alcohol, the drugs, etc. And you know it could be a problem. So this was like a very real scenario that I could identify with, and it's actually kind of the reason why I don't even really do music anymore. And plus, I'm a Christian recording artist now, so that just cuts everything out. Thankfully, I don't have to. I don't even have to go that route anymore. So just the fact that I'm a Christian artist, that eliminated like 100% of everybody that I used to deal with, and anybody that wants to record with me now, they're completely turned off by that. They're actually offended that I would suggest like, well, hey, I'm a Christian recording artist, and so if we're not praising and glorifying the Lord and Jesus, then if the song's not based off of that, or like it's not Christian music, I don't want to be involved in it, and I don't want to be in an atmosphere that isn't an atmosphere that will respect the Lord. So people will get mad, and even recently I had something earlier this year where a guy was offended by that and like, oh, you can't force your beliefs on me, and you know, and when I was like, well, look, I'll come to your studio, and I was like, but just please don't I don't want to be around anybody. I just want to come, listen to the song, write it, record it, and leave. And when I got there, he was getting high and still kind of disrespectful. And his verse was super disrespectful. He was cussing and promoting violence and things like that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm cool. He's like, oh, well, you can have the beat and you can do what you want with it. So I did that. And then I did a video to it. And then he got mad and called his producer and told his producer I stole the beat. All these types of things happens when you're dealing with people that are in the world. They don't understand the spiritual warfare or how spiritual warfare works. But anyways, to get back onto the dream, it was turning into an atmosphere like that. And so I had to go upstairs to try to get away from all the noise and the chaos. And so when I went upstairs, I had like I guess it was, I don't want to say it was my girlfriend or my wife, but it was a woman that was close to me, I guess. And I was trying to talk to her, and she like, "Oh, I'm just up here to use the restroom." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that's not going to help me, you know." So her friend came, and I'm like, "Hey." And I remember I wanted to ask her friend like, would you be interested in being a secretary? But then I was like, I don't want to even say that because she may get offensive. Because one thing I realized, everybody there were easily offended. Like when I was asking them if they were musicians, they were like, "Who are you? Why are you here? Who are you to question me? Like, why are you in my face? Like, get out!" Like people were very standoffish, and I'm used to it because I'm a Christian, so I deal with that every single day just in my line of work. Everywhere I go, people are automatically evil towards me, and I don't judge them because I know it's spiritual warfare. I know it's the enemy. We wrestle with principalities. It took me a long time to understand that. I used to get offended when people gave me dirty looks and were rude and disrespectful to me, but now I just pray for them because I understand what's going on where the rest of the world doesn't understand. And I deal with it too. Like I still hear demons um, trying to give me negative interpretations and judgments of people that I meet, and I just ignore them because demons are very immature, and I know the Lord, and I know His Word, and I know what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to act, and it's not easy, because sometimes you do. Um, it wears on you. It wears your armor down. Like I used to just wake up and put my armor on in the morning and think it was good throughout the day, but now I know I have to go back and put on the armor, um, two, three, four more times throughout the day, and I have to stay praying to the Lord throughout. Like as soon as I start noticing the demonic activity occurring, people trying to cut me off in traffic, just doing weird things like people out of nowhere ride up and start riding your bumper, or just people just act demonic, and I don't even think they know why they're acting demonic. I don't even think they know why they're bullying you or harassing you. I just know that they start doing it, and they're looking for that reaction, and they're looking for a confrontation, and I don't give it to them. I don't make the eye contact with them, and if they want to start messing with me, I'll leave. I'll float on them. Choo, I'm gone because I know what's going on and they don't know what's going on. And that's how these incidences happen. And remember, these demons all day long, they're trying to create situations to get you to explode and act out of character. And since I know that, I don't give them the benefit of doing that to me. And thankfully, I work where I don't have to complete the assignments that I get. So if I get an assignment and it starts going bad, I can abandon that assignment and go on to the next one. And I do that all day long because it never fails. But when those things start happening, that's a sign I need to start praying. I need to ask for protection, and But anyways, so this lady, I was gonna like, hey, can I hire you to be my secretary? But as soon as I started feeling like I was about to say it, I could tell she was like giving me the look, like, what do you want? Like, no, I'm not. I'm already not interested in what you're proposing. So like, what is it? What is it that you're trying to get? So then I was like, well, I'll ask her to be my personal assistant. And then I still felt like she was going to interpret that the wrong way. Like, personal assistant, like, who are you to be? Because everybody's on that right now, right? Everybody's on, like, on a very selfish, like, you need to serve me. I'm important. You need to bow down to me. Everybody seems, not everybody, but like 99% of the population seems to be on this, like, royalty type of attitude. Like, you're beneath me. Everybody is kind of like that type of energy, like you're beneath me, type of attitude. So since I was sensing that from her, I'm like, man, I'm not getting anywhere with anybody, and everybody's in my house, in my personal space, and they're everywhere in my house: the basement, the garage, the front yard, the backyard, the side of the house, the driveway, the living room, the kitchen, everywhere. And so when I was upstairs it wasn't that many people. Like I said, it was the lady that I felt like was close to me. She could have been girlfriend or just a close friend or something like that in a dream, and her friend. And so I was like, "Hey, can I hire you?" Her friend was still nice though, but like, can I hire you to do something for me? I'm like, I need to reschedule this audition to a place of business, to a studio far far away from my house. Trust me, I'm getting to the point here. So she said yeah, and I'm like, cool. Go around, ask everybody, their name, their phone number, their talent, and give them this specific date and time, and tell them that we'll call them to come and audition. But when they show up, just check in and then leave and wait outside, and then we'll announce it on a loudspeaker um, when we're ready to let them in so they can audition. So she said, yeah. But while me and her were talking, her and I were speaking, I seen a man coming out of the bedroom. And I'm like, yo, you can't be up here. What is you doing? And he's like, oh, I fell asleep. And he was holding an other guy's hand, and the other guy was dressed as a woman. And I'm like, first thing I said, I'm like, that's disgusting. Now I gotta change the sheets. And then I was thinking in my head, like, because they were in my bed, like they had went upstairs to do something nasty, And I was like, man, that's it. That's the end. That's the last straw right there. And these guys had nothing to do with music or anything. They were just like there to party. And I was like, man, I'm gonna have to burn the bed. I'm gonna have to buy a whole new mattress. Like, I'm gonna have to buy a whole new bed. This is what I was thinking as I woke up. So, anyways, I woke up at 8:12 a.m. and in the Strong's Concordance, it means to be out of order, be remiss. That's the definition. The usage is lit, Lit, and it says, I march out of order, then I riot, rebel, having disorderly neglect, having be, behave disorderly, neglect my duty, am careless or idle in habits. Properly, to be out of proper order or arrangement, breaking rank, disregarding commandments and authority, act in an undisciplined manner, and properly of soldiers marching out of order or quitting the ranks. So now, the way I gather it is like, you know, this place is far away from heaven and where God resides, and it's for a reason, right? Because God's perfect, and He can't have any of this negativity. Like, trust me, I used to get mad at God, like, why are you gonna send all these people to hell and this and that, and I would be mad, and I would be fighting for humanity. But a lot of times when I do that, I'm at home and I'm in my prayer closet and I'm away from the world when I'm praying at that time. When I'm not at home and I'm not in that in my safe haven, and I'm out in the world, it's really hard to pray for all these people that are so disrespectful. I do it because we are called to do that, but it is difficult. It's hard to do that, and so this that 8:12 a.m. and looking up in the Strong's Concordance, and everything that I just read to you, to be out of order, be remiss, behaving disorderly, neglecting their duty, careless in their habits, out of proper order, breaking rank, disregarding commands and authority. What do you think the fallen angels did? You know what I'm saying? And even though they did that and God kicked them out of heaven, He still did not destroy these immortal beings. That shows you how much love God really does have, because these demons are filthy, disgusting, and they're doing the most vile and decrepit, horrible things here. Things that I wish I would have never ever knew about. I wish I would have never knew about the child sacrifice, the cannibalism, and just the thousands and thousands of disgusting things that these demons um, are doing and causing humanity to do. And I hate it. I hate it here. I don't want to be here. I bet I beg God every single day to please let me come and be with Him. Let me just get away from this environment in its entirety. There's nothing I want here, honestly. I really don't. I mean, I enjoy simple things. I enjoy, the sunsets, nature, animals, and that's kind of how I am able to cope with my existence here, is by watching animals and just watching the beautiful things and the simplicity of the perfection of God. But yeah, so I didn't know this dream meant anything at first. Like, I've been lately been telling God, can I just sleep at night and not be conscious of any of my dreams, so I could actually just sleep. And I was like, please only give me dreams that have messages or meanings, or just let me sleep. So if I have to dream, just please let it be a dream from you with a message. Um, if not, just let me let me sleep, because I really need my sleep. This life takes a lot out of you, and I got a lot on my plate. Uh, Being in school, working full time, and really trying to study the Word of God every day, because it's just never enough. I mean, I I could not exist without Jesus. I could absolutely not exist without Jesus. It's impossible. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't go that long, really. Yeah, sometimes you do get burnt out listening to pastors preaching and listening to the Bible, and it does, just listening to like the books out of the Bible, like the audio versions, even if they're dramatized, um, you could get sleepy. You know, you can get sleepy just listening to anybody talk for a long periods of time, even in school. So, but and I mix it up with praise and worship music and stuff like that. But sometimes you gotta take a break, and that's I'll go eat or whatever. But so yeah, I think that's what it means, and me going up the steps and still trying to talk with a couple people. I was able to, even out of like two people that I was upstairs, one of them was of no use to me, and the other one, like the one that was up there was just there to release relieve herself, I would say. So that kind of means maybe she's up there just to escape all the chaos that was down there. I don't know. And the other one, she was able to take instruction and go back downstairs and help me figure things out. So I think it's just symbolic what's going on. I mean, this is God created this earth. This is God's earth. And God is perfect. And God can't have any disorder or chaos. He's a perfect individual, perfect being, and he wants perfection, and I agree. I want it too. So hopefully that dream helped somebody. But yeah, I definitely feel like there will be order out of chaos. So God bless you in Jesus' name. Keep the full armor of God on. Stay in prayer. Try to fast as much as possible.